Okay, so yo, I just recorded this whole segment. I was just yapping for like a solid 20 minutes, and my audio was so fuzzy. It was so trash. I'm so upset. But we're gonna do it again. And I might go inside because it's getting cold. But this is the last Rooftop chats for 2024. And not to be like, oh, new year, new me kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's one of those things. Just be reflective because a lot has happened this year. And first off, I'm just grateful that I can pop on a camera and people happen to actually watch what I want to say, or like chilling and kicking it with me, like we hanging out, because we are hanging out. And I love y'all for that. And this year was a slice of seeing that we're onto something as a group, as a community. We're rocking, we're getting somewhere. It's a slow burn. Like, content creation is not a sprint. Like, when people say it is a marathon, like, there are creators who have been on platforms, especially YouTube, for a decade plus. Well, YouTube has been around almost for 20 years. 2 more years would be 20 years, something like that. And like, there are ones who are just now hitting 100K, who are hitting 1 million subs. It's like, bruh, we all just it takes time. And that's probably one of the hardest things to come to terms with. Cause like, we may watch all these videos. Yeah, I did this. I 10x my subscriber base. I did this to my business. It's like, yeah, that's cool. You can supercharge your business and all that. But in all reality, if you love creating, if you love community, if you love just making stuff, you can't rush it. And that is one of the biggest lessons I have been coming to terms with this past year. Is like, I've been watching so many amazing creators. It's like, dang, I know how to do this stuff. I know what's working. But it's like that taste and skill level just hasn't connected yet. But that's my goal for 2025, is hopefully all that connects. But yeah, I just want to reflect on this past year. Has been nuts. Like, I shot my first wedding last year. Shout out to Caleb and Amber. I love you both. Thank you for giving me that opportunity to capture your special day, because that is such a day you cannot redo. So I shot my first wedding last year. And then this year I shot 4 weddings. 4. And one of those I had to fly to Italy for. Like, I've traveled for 3 weddings this year, and to think that I just shot my first one not even that long ago, and I was already shooting another one, and I got to shoot that one with one of my homies, Seth. That was such a moment, and it's like, bruh, like, and this year was a proof of concept that, like, I can do it, that this content creation thing is something that is going to work for me. And I want to help others see that this is a solid avenue of a career, but you have to be in it for the long haul. And you got to figure out how to find your little wins, because if you don't find your little wins, you will burn out. You will hate content creation. You will hate this whole aspect of it, because you're not going to see that fast result. But even if you do see that fast result, it'll be overwhelming. I kid you not. Because for me personally, last year was like my first, in 2023 was my first shot of like seeing, okay, I can carve out a space in this creator economy, in this content creation space. But I wasn't ready. I'll keep it a bean. Like, there's aspects to this whole fake it till you make it kind of thing, but you got to keep growing on your skills, and you got to learn fast. Like, once you get your foot in the door, you got to be able to grow fast and communicate. I think for me last year, I caught myself, and it's like, yeah, okay, I made it. I'm here. I'm in the room. Now what? You know, like it's all great and it's all good and dandy to be in the room, but what do you have to say? And you know what? I'm finna take this inside. I'm getting cold. Hold on. All right, here we go. The magic of editing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, much better. It was getting mad cold, but I gotta say I learned a lot last year or this year, because if you fake it till you make it, it'll get your foot in the door, but you got to have something to say. And I've learned that you got to show up. My experience with working with some big name creators, it was an experience of how efficient these bigger channels operate, these businesses operate, these media companies operate. And you got to be willing to learn on the fly. Like, you got to learn quick, or you can be replaced. And there's no malice towards it. It's just, you realize like, oh, this isn't my business. This is someone else's image that I am portraying or having an effect on. So learning was so vital in 2023 and this past year, 2024. I've learned so much about my creative process, how I work with others. And it's just you just learn so quickly if you make yourself available to learn. And that is something that's so big. You just got to be open to learn, because that's what it is. Each video, you're learning something new. You're learning how to export, have better export settings. You're learning better audio situations. You're learning how to develop your taste in a way that it's not too derivative. You're not stealing someone, but you're taking notes and then adding it to your style. Because I think that is the hardest part of being in that moment. After you done faked it, and now you're trying to figure out who you are, but your taste is up here. Like you know what you like, right? And you know how to make it, but your skill set, for some reason, your skill set just they haven't met in the middle. They haven't met in the middle yet. But thanks to some good friends, Sal and Bart over at Trio Stories, they gave me a reminder to not rush that phase, because it's fun. It is a good phase to be in because you learn a lot about yourself and creativity. And that is the hardest part. I think the biggest lesson I learned this year is not to rush anything, because you're going to constantly learn. You're constantly trying to figure out what is working for you. And sometimes it's fast. Sometimes you feel like you're starting all over again, but you'll get there. And if you're in it for the marathon, you'll be okay, because you will come across these content creators who may have started maybe started last year, started 6 months ago, and now they have full-fledged businesses. They're skyrocketing, and you're just like, dang, I want that. But sometimes it just doesn't happen for the majority of us. So if you have that short-term mentality, it'll work for a moment, but it's going to get tired. You're going to get tired, and you're going to hate content creation if you view it with a short time frame in mind, because this is all a sprint. Like, you probably won't make money your first year, or maybe even your second year, but if you surround yourself with the right people, you start taking in the right advice, eventually it's going to work out for you. And what's that quote? The best time to plant a tree was 10,000 years ago. The second best time is right now. And so that's how content creation goes. Like, if you start now, where you'll be, say, this time next year, who knows? You'll definitely be better than what you are from your first videos, because it's going to be cringy. Like, it's getting through that cringe is hard, but there's some grace in that, where you can just laugh at yourself now. Things that you thought were so difficult, you can do them with a breeze. And it's amazing to see how fast you can grow when you just kind of put your head down and kind of have a shooter's mentality. Like, I played sports growing up, so the biggest lesson is to forget the last play, because it will distract you from the next play, from getting better, because there's so much time in a game until the game runs out. But if you're not like keeping that next play mentality, you're gonna struggle. And that's something I struggled with a lot. Is I've actually only focused so much on like video production. I focused so much on storytelling, so much on that. This past year, I burnt myself out plenty of times. And that's because I got away from what I know. And for me, I know this is counterproductive to anything you'll hear online, is you need to niche down. And for everyone, that looks different. For me personally, my experience is I've worked in a lot of industries, and I've made aspects of my business they're multifaceted because I'm a multifaceted artist. And I kind of neglected that this past year. So I plan on getting back into doing more artwork, doing more graphic design work, getting into clothing design. And those are some things that I know, but I've been kind of hesitant on doing because it's like, oh, I love filmmaking, so this is what I got to do. But for me, and how I know from my life, I've always been, from time I started playing sports around like what, 7 years old, it's like, okay, I always went from sport to sport to sport. It was never an off season for me personally. So I needed to do that. I need to do that creatively. If I feel like I'm burning out just focusing on filmmaking, then I can tap into working on more graphic design, working on more animation things, and working on more physical art, because that helps me still stay creative, but it gives me a mental break from just focusing on filming. And the funny thing is, I can still film, just taking the pressure off of, oh, this has to look cinematic. Oh, this has to look a certain way. It's like, no, just keep working on projects. So some big projects I'm looking forward to in 2025 is, one, I've been sitting on this project for so long, is I want to make my first animated short. Like, I storyboarded this project out, let's say 7, 8 years ago, and I've just been sitting on it for so long. But that is my goal, is I want to produce my first animated short in 2025, hopefully in the first 6 months. And then I also want to start my clothing line. I made a video about that maybe made it last year in 2023. I think so. It might have been 2022. I can't remember. But I started that and made a video, but I don't have anything tangible. So now I want to make physical products that y'all can see, get them out in the wild, because that's what I know. Funny enough, I started learning everything about graphic design and apparel design through my brother. He's a web developer and a designer. And he had his own clothing line while I was in college, and he still makes his own clothes here and there because his job, they have this cool studio set up where you can kind of work on your own personal projects. It's super dope. But he taught me everything I know about that industry. So, and I feel like that's something that's been missing for me, because I have so many creators, merch and clothing in my house that I wear regularly. And it's like, dang, I know how to make this. Why don't I just make it for myself? I don't mean to be braggadocious about it, but it's one of those things where, like, they did it. Why can't I? I know how to. Like, and there's something different about wearing something you made, and there's a little sense of pride that comes with that. So, and who knows, people may like what I want to put out, because I want to make clothing for creators, because we all have the same uniform. We all wear like some sort of utility pants. We wear a nice big baggy t-shirt, a nice hoodie to make us cozy, and we wear a hat most of the time. You know what I mean? So I want to take that uniform and then elevate it with some graphics that are related to our industry. So that's something I'm working on. Those are the two projects that I really want to put on. So I'm planning to make t-shirts, hats, hoodies, eventually socks. I don't know how to design for socks, so I'm not going to try to do that out the gate yet. And also, I'm gonna probably work on like the rubber bracelets, because I wear these a lot too. So I'm gonna work on some of those too, and stickers. We gotta have stickers. You can't have any product without stickers, because everybody loves stickers, right? So I'm gonna be working on those too. Also, that's what I'm working on. And also, I plan on working on more short films and spec projects. Short films, because I enjoy navigating through my life through creativity, and that happens when I make short films. That's how I process stuff. So I won't specifically talk about like issues I've gone through, but there will be themes for short films that I make next year. And I want to make more spec projects. Like I think this past year, when I got to work with 2 brands and they found me just off of the videos I was posting online, and they liked what I'd made. So I was like, okay, well, if these people can find me just from posting videos, what will happen if I actually make some brand outreach? What will happen if I make some spec projects and kind of reach out to brands to work with? And that's something I really want to work on this upcoming year, because this whole content creation thing is something that will help me buy back my time. I want to be able to work when I want to and have the flexibility to pick up projects that I can work on here and there, and like be able to still make a living. Because for a long time, it took me a while to actually embrace being a content creator, telling people, oh yeah, I do video production, media production, and video editing, graphic design. I do that. Before, like, I do drive a school bus in between projects as my like regular, I guess it's a 9 to 5, but it's not really a 9 to 5, but I do drive a school bus. So that was like, oh yeah, I drive a school bus and I do some video stuff on the side. But it's like, now I'm switching that, because yes, driving a school bus helps me make money so I can keep the bills on and I can purchase equipment. But my business is something that I'm investing in. That's the only reason why I drive a school bus now. I don't want that to be my full-time gig. So that's something I'm going to work on more, so is just showing that aspect of life, but also I want to keep an aspect of my life for myself. I love these I love vloggers. I love life in these. I love watching the weekend live vlogs, but there are aspects of my life I want to keep private, because it's like that slice of pie I can keep for myself. I think it was something Jack Harlow said in an interview, is like, he keeps part of his life personal, you know, and that's something I dig. I get that. It's something that it should be good. We should have a life offline. Like one of my favorite movies, Ready Player One. That's something that one of the creators in that film said, is like, you need to spend more time in the real world. Granted, hello. Granted, we do enjoy connection. We do enjoy content creation. It provides us something that gets us connected to people. But at the same time, we got to live a life outside of our camera, you know? So that's something I'm looking forward to, is still taking breaks, because there's been plenty of times where like, I know I need to get a video out this week, but I'm hanging out with some friends. And that is something I am okay with. I will sacrifice not uploading a video one week because I want to spend time with my friends, because that's important to me. Spending time with my friends, spending time with my family. I really think that's important. And I think we should all do that. Yes. So I've been yapping for like an hour and a half, if I'm being real honest, because I started recording this outside to do like a full rooftop chat, but one of my audio cords was kind of messed up, so the audio sounded really trash. Like I'll put a snippet in here.
We're doing it.
So this is like the 3rd or 4th time I'm like putting this together. But it's been helpful, because I've kind of dwindled down what I've been saying. But yes, so just I want to continue to help others. I want to help everyone to get better. So if there's anything you want to see, projects, ideas you are interested in, something you want to know, let me know. Drop it down in the comments, because your boy, I'm here to help. It's a creative handyman. I got you. That's something I've lacked in. I haven't done a lot of tutorials this last year, so that's something I need to get back into. I want to have fun making art, making videos, sharing love, sharing life with people. I love y'all, and I hope we can all meet in person one day randomly. Who knows? But if y'all here watching my videos and kicking it with me, we cool, we people. I love you. I'm your guy. So if you want to stay in touch, hit me up on Instagram. That's where I'm active mostly, is on Instagram, for real. YouTube, I'm trying to post. When I think about it, I want to post a video every week, but I know every week there won't be a video posted. For real, I could be completely honest with myself, but that's a goal I want to reach for. on top of the other projects I'm going to put out. So yes, I love you. It's your boy Groovy Foo. Have fun. Happy creating. I love you. Much love. Peace.